The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light. On all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander Worf, don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for B4.
What can I do? People no longer love the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
What's true? That's why we gotta shine a light. Oh, shine a light, shine a light. We gotta shine a light. Oh, yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next. Yeah. Tom Generation Next. Beyond it, your channel. Zero news to now. Tom Generation Next. We're gonna shine a light. Generation X.
Tom Fury, this is Zero News. Good morning. Is it still morning? If it's not morning, good afternoon. I hope you're doing okay. Good to see you. It's supposed to be 17-ish tomorrow, and then warm the day after. Cold nights. Gotta say, nice sunshine, but the wind is from the wrong direction, so it's kind of cold wind. So if it feels like this tomorrow, it's not going to be like last March. I remember it was on my t-shirt. So I'm probably going to be finding the I've got a lovely place in the bunker where it cuts all the wind off, but you get the sunshine. So that may be the fallback position. I love getting the sunshine, so that may be the fallback position. But I can hope. I'm thinking of. I kept saying I wanted to get out, camping or whatever. And I'm thinking. Oh shit! What date is it today? Tonight or tomorrow night? It's maybe tomorrow night. But I've got some kind of appointment this week, so probably not something I'd bring you in live for. But I might try and film a couple of bits. Also, as well, where I do things like that is where I do some of my best thinking. Because you've not got all the distractions of the video editors around you and stuff like that, which is a distraction. Anyway, I wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions. Well, bring one thing up, but I also wanted your genuine input on something. So I'm going to ask the question first, and then come back around to it. The question, firstly, is: not so long ago, in a galaxy not so long ago, myself and Vin and whatever were talking to you guys on here like this, and some of you believe that civil war was imminent. Some of you believed it was unavoidable. Many of you believe the violence was unavoidable, and many of you believe there was no political solution. However, there was also a portion of you that did believe there was a political solution and didn't believe there was a civil war possible. So, now Rupert Lowe's come along. Country seems to be a bit more galvanised, and they seem to be a bit more back in voting mode, right? So, okay, I'll always be honest with you when I'm really strong on opinion and when I'm flip-flopping. I'm flip-flopping between two thoughts. One is, yeah, there's a political solution, and Rupert Lowe's probably it. And the other one is, we may be past the tipping point, it may be too late. And they may, there's battling thoughts going on in my head. Now, some people would consider that a sign of weakness. Those people are usually fanatics, by the way. Great doubt, great awareness. Little doubt, little awareness. Yes, it's good to have doubt in the things that you think about, so that you can go and do some more research, go and do some more figuring out of things. But I'm stuck between the two. I don't know if I've let, and this is the thing about bias, I don't know if I've let my bias of hope interfere with my rationale of reality, or if it's the other way around, or if Rupert Lowe represents the hope that we didn't have before. So for me personally, just me, it's not even an opinion, it's a floating opinion at the moment. I'm trying to figure out what I truly believe deep down. Because I am a pessimist and a cynic at heart, and I know that, but there's also a massive idealistic hope in me as well. So they all have to sort of coincide in that same brain, which is why I'm loopy half the time. So yeah, I'm genuinely trying to figure out which it is. Am I feeling hope because I have no choice but to be, putting my apples in that basket, or am I feeling hope because there's a political solution come out of the woodwork? I say out of the woodwork, it's more like a mountain coming up, isn't it? Or are we in exactly the same position we were in before, just with some icing on? And I'm fighting with myself over this. Because I don't want to inject false hope into an idea, but at the same time, I believe any hope is better than absolutely no hope. And so, like I said to you the other day, so far, Rupert Lowe's done all the necessary things. He's gathering the necessary numbers. He's saying the necessary things. Things are growing in the way that you would hope. Probably wouldn't even dream of, but you would hope. So that has to keep scaling up, by the way. Like, the moment this fails is the moment it stops scaling up. So at the moment, everything Rupert Lowe's doing scales. So, and what I mean by that is, like, his members. You can't judge a political party necessarily by how many members they've got. But in this case, it gives you a good idea of how many of the general public are prepared to jump on board and break records. So it gives you I think it gives you a sample size of the more general public. So it suggests at the moment he is pulling people in from different spheres. The point where that becomes failure, which I hope it doesn't, is when he reaches a ceiling, if there is such one for him, where, yeah, people can't, where he can't get any further because blocked here, blocked there. But so far I'm seeing no sign of it. So until he reaches a ceiling, if there even is one for him, at the moment, all good. So I genuinely think, like, when I think of it like that, I genuinely think, look, this guy's got the right policies, he's got the right backing. If he keeps scaling his support to the way he's doing it at the moment, that support will keep scaling up. It will actually be a general election force. So that's the one argument in my head that's going on one side. The argument that's going on in my head on the other side, and I'm being completely transparent with you and just showing the inside of my head. What's going on the other side of my head is they're dragging him through court for years. Media's going to bash him up before he gets there. Someone's going to betray him. He'll get in power, but he's going to find out that he isn't really in power after all, and we're going to find out exactly who runs the country. And on and on and on. Some of those are obviously opinionated conspiracy theories, but my point being is, it's like, even if he gets in power, that'll be crunch time, right? If we know that he's determined to actually do these things and he can't, I can see people trying to drag him through court, although if they win, I believe I'm right in saying this, if they win on a majority with a manifesto that says all of these things in it, they don't need to get majorities in Parliament over a lot of things that they be passing, because my belief is, because it's on the manifesto, it's already accounted for. I think that's right, isn't it? So the problem with Brexit was, because all the parties were too scared to put it on a manifesto, they put it out for a referendum, which is what caused the problems, because then it was open to debate. Whereas if it's on a manifesto, it's not open to the same kind of debate. So yes, that's the question about that. What is your position on it? Do you think we're still done for? Do you think there's hope? Is your hope in someone else other than Rupert Lowe? Do you think civil war? And where are you at? And more importantly, I'd be interested to know how many of you have changed your minds from this position to this position, or this position to this position. I'd be really curious to know, because that to me is where the biggest tell will be. If people are honest about their answers, I think that would be the biggest tell. So while I leave you with that, I was just wondering, have you guys been noticing what's going on the right in America? I think there's going to be, well, I don't think, there's already a massive push to vote Democrat for the next elections, even by some Republicans. And it's got nothing to do with Trump, because Trump's going to be out. What did they say it was? One person said it was to teach the Republican Party a lesson, but it wasn't. It was, I can't remember the exact, if I don't use the exact words, I'm going to get it wrong. But it was this twisted idea of how you will get the right to do the right things by voting in the left. It was really, really weird. And there's a few more and more people coming up with this. If you look at all the right-wing podcasters, at one time you had the big star lineup, didn't you? Stephen Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, God rest his mind, and all of the other people that used to be in that little star-studded lineup. Well, now you've got, and they all position themselves as intellectuals, of which Candace Owens, which you've got to be very careful talking about Candace Owens, because she's got such a fan club of sycophants. As we've talked about this before, so I'm not going to go all over it, of sycophants that are actually guarding her from getting help, I think. So she's talked about Charlie Kirk being a time-travelling X-Man from the future who runs down the street with lights turning off. And she's practically the same as well. And she's had dreams where she's talked to Charlie, and he makes this kind of psychic-sounding ambiguities to her in these dreams. And so when I called it out for it, like nonsense and grief, and that people perhaps should be offering her some support rather than encouraging her delusions, which delusional states are easy when you're going through grief to get into. The why someone died or got killed or killed themselves can be more crushing than the fact that they've done it, because you're trying to find answers. You're trying to find, So she's been isolated. But the other thing as well is that she positioned herself as an intellectual, and as anybody that's watched anything of Candace Owens in depth realises she's not. She's far, far from it. And that's not a knock, it's just she positioned herself as that, and she's far, far from that. What she's got is a bunch of sycophants around her. And here's the craziest thing. So she's talking about X-Men schools and how the government are frightened of her now because she's about to unveil their X-Men schools and stuff. And then her supporters say, you've got to read between the lines. And I'm like, what, of an X-Men school and time travelling? And they're like, don't listen to the words that Candace says. What the fuck? Don't listen to the words. So you're saying, go to the Candace Owens show, listen to what she say, read between the lines, but then discard everything she says, because the code is between the code, which is also not actually in the code. Work it out for yourself, and if you don't, you're stupid. Right. So she's saying nothing in the video is helpful, except crazy stuff. So you're saying don't listen to her words. What am I supposed to look at her blinking pattern? The amount of time she smiles per episode, is that going to give me a Morse code sense of what she's talking about? No, you've got a bunch of sycophants protecting her. She's got, and here's where it gets frightening, she's got the most popular right-wing podcast in America at the moment. People are joining in by the millions, I think, or at least hundreds of thousands, to go and support her delusions. Now, if this was happening on the left, we were talking about trans children or something, we wouldn't tolerate such delusions, would we? Because it's on the right, like, she's gone, again, I think a lot of it's grief. But she's not an intellectual, she's not actually that smart about very many things, and she's trolling people like Alex Jones, Tim Pool, all these other people, and let's face it, Alex Jones, for all his goods and bads, he's not exactly your best debater, is he? Alex Jones' idea of a debate, you're a cunt, oh, I'm going to kill you all, I'm going to take you all on. Right, that's Alex Jones debating. So why, if you're Candace Owens and you're so much above everybody, would you even engage in it? Right, again, you know, Stephen Crowder, the guy that told all of us, oh yeah, my chest is flatter than yours, which means that my heart has to do so much more work. This is on his video, getting the blood around my body, so I'm doing about 8 times more work than the average person out there. Oh, poor Stephen. And then it was Candace Owens before she lost her mind, and some other people that went, let's pray for Stephen, let's pray for him to get through this operation, blah, 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 blah. And then then when they had a little bit of a fallout, they went and had a look. As a matter of public record, Stephen Crowder went in to have a cosmetic surgery done. He didn't like the shape of his chest, so he had it cosmetically altered. His heart wasn't doing 8 times more than anybody else's. It was just bullshit. He just wanted it cosmetically altered. And because the right will call out the right where they fall out, they showed it. They showed what he'd done. Not only that, but his missus did a great job of showing what a controlling prick he was on top of that. So he's kind of slipped off. Ben Shapiro, you're not a Jew, you're a Jew, you're not a Jew. Facts over feelings, except when it comes to Israel. Except when it comes to Judaism. Then Ben Shapiro is the one and only source for truth. And Ben Shapiro, who I've appreciated Ben Shapiro for years. But where is the facts over feelings, Ben Shapiro? You're not on the right if you're not on the side of Israel. He doesn't get to make that choice for people. He doesn't get to say that. Yeah, I don't like the Israeli government, so it doesn't make me not on the right. I don't trust my own government. So he's blown away, and he's literally attacking people on the right for not being Jewish enough or not supporting the Jews enough. As far as he's concerned, there's one side to this argument, and that's his side. This is the facts over feelings Ben Shapiro, who is being totally monopolised by his feelings. Same with Candace Owens, totally driven by emotion and feelings and grief. Hypocrites. But what's more sad than anything else is I actually used to like a lot of them. I still probably could if they pull this shit back together. But this is what happens when you're on the wrong side of a camera lens, and when you've got, again, like with Candace Owens, it's not the average person that's enabling her. The average person is like worried about her. Yeah, the average person is like generally worried about her or mocking her. But it's the sycophant. You always get a hardcore group of fans around anything. It's the hardcore group that create a firewall around her. And she's not getting to hear truth from anybody. You think the Daily Wire, if she's still on the Daily Wire, you think one of them would relieve her of duty for a month or two to let her, grieve. Because I think that's what's really going on. And if it's not what's going on, she should just be sacked. Although they're not going to do that. Because this is what I mean. Like, they're eating themselves alive over there. I've got a picture of a fish eating its tail. Because they know that she's spouting shit, but they're continuing to let her spout it. It's not going to be doing her any good, not only for her mental health, but her future in politics. If she decides she wants a future in politics, she may be screwing that up right now. So how are these people, because she's got the #1 podcast in the world, she's bringing in ratings and that, right? So they're not going to cancel her at the moment, because she's bringing in the platform money they all need to get paid. So they're letting her continue. So it's not only her hardcore fans enabling her, it's the platform she's on. And they're not going to rip her off there until she starts losing fans. Then they'll do it. Then they'll axe her and treat her like a piece of shit. And this is what I don't like about it all, is they can see what's going on with her. Nobody's pulling her off the air for a little while and say, hey, take some time off. But you guarantee once those ratings go down, they would have done. But at the moment, the way she is bringing in loads of ratings. So fuck her mental health, fuck her future, fuck her career. She's only a young woman. Fuck her career, fuck everything else. She's bringing in the ratings. This is the podcast right, if you like. This is the influencer right. It's not just influencers, all kinds of people, you know, intellectuals and fake intellectuals, pseudo-intellectuals, all kinds of people. But they're eating themselves alive over there. And when I say the right's eating themselves alive over there, I don't mean like in Britain, you know, where we really mean the centre and the left that have infiltrated. I mean actual right-wing people attacking right-wing people, again, because they're not Jewish enough, or because they're not siding exactly word for word with what Ben Shapiro is. It's a real shit show over there. Like I say, and then you've got Republicans pushing for a Democratic vote next election. What the fuck? And that's nothing to do with Trump. Remember, he's not going to be able to go for election again. This has got nothing to do with Trump. Why is it telling me to rotate when I just have? I've just rotated it, you can't... Sorry. Right. Yeah, so it's got nothing to do with Trump. So what? Why would Republicans be saying that? And they're talking about resetting... Not resetting, they didn't say reset. Part of it was teaching the party a lesson, but that didn't make any sense. There was another set of terms they used. It was more about resetting a kind of balance, but it just didn't make any sense whatsoever. And the other thing as well is, why does this matter? Because Starmer has done his best to upset Trump. Starmer has done his best to alienate Trump. And he's taken away our chance of a real Brexit. He's taken away our chance of a real trade agreement with America. That's why it's important. On top of that, and we could have had some good trade deals with America, right? On top of that, the Republican Party is the party that loves the British. The Republican Party is the one that supports the British. And I dare say that had Starmer been able to act like half a man, Trump would have still worked with him. Because he likes Britain. So, if the Democrats get into the next election, then Democrats may like Starmer, but the fact of it is they hate Britain. Always have done, always will. They will not be... They don't believe in the special relationship. They don't believe in it. Mind you, I can understand that, but they don't believe in any of that shit. The Democrats are absolutely, I wouldn't say anti-Britain. Maybe it would, but they're certainly not going to be doing us any favours. Beep, beep. So, yeah, it does matter. It does matter now what these people are thinking and planning and doing and how they're betraying themselves, because like I say, Starmer's already probably cost us some really good deals. He's probably cost the world peace. Jesus, he is going to go down as one of the most hated men of all time. And yeah, like I say, at the end of this, we could end up with a democratic regime. Like I say, they will get on better with Starmer because they're the same politics, but at the same time, they've got no time for England. They've got no time for Britain. They've got no time at all for us. So the time to make changes where Britain and America was concerned is elapsing. And it will be elapsed by the time we get another Prime Minister who is not Labour. So that's a real loss. That's a real loss. We've lost a lot because it may have been our only chance to really pull away from Europe. Because obviously, you know, you're not stupid. You know, Starmer's trying to drag us right back in. But had we made those deals, they would have been binding and they would have actually caused a real problem for getting us anywhere back near Europe again. Europe would have had to do deals with us if they wanted to do deals that were outside of their European Union rules. Otherwise, they'd be seen as making allowances for us that they wouldn't for other countries. So they would have had to come to an arrangement with us, which was always said. Starmer knew that as well, and we knew that there was a period of time. Someone said like 5 years or 10 years, and then the two sides would start speaking, and all the problems we got through Brexit would be cleared up. It was just posturing to make sure the world knew that Britain was being punished, and you know, and from Britain's side, we'd be okay without Europe. But after, like they said, it'd be a period of like 8 to 10 years, and then people would start working on it. That's what they were doing. They were starting to work on the trade deals. They were starting to work on other deals. Starmer scuppered all that with pissing on the peace deals, pissing on the trade deals, bringing himself closer to Europe. That timing is not coincidence. He made sure to sabotage those deals. We could have done with some deals with America. We're supposed to have a special relationship. yeah, we've been hampered by Europe for all those years. This was the reason that we voted the way that we voted. And what have they done to us? So, anyway, let me catch up with you guys. Hey, Steve, good to see you, mate. Good to see you, Stefan. Hope you're well, mate, as well. I know you're a Jew, buddy. I know you're a Jew. My point being is, I don't hate Jews, Steve. That's the whole thing. Like, this internet obsession with hating Jews is not me. I don't like Israel because it's as in the government. I don't like the British government. I don't like the American government most of the time. I don't like any government because they all can't be trusted. So whether you're a Jew or not doesn't change the fact that I don't trust Israel as far as I could fucking throw them. Same as Saudi Arabia, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, they're all Middle Eastern countries. The Jewish people, completely different. Same as British people versus British government. British people, yeah, British government, fuck off. That's my attitude towards it. I will not and am not and will never be compelled to support Israel just because everybody else thinks that I should. Fuck that. No, never happening. And like I say, simply because of the fact that I've seen what they're up to, I've seen their play, I've also seen Saudi Arabia's play. To me, they're just a bunch of fucking Middle Eastern countries. They can get on with it. And I saw the way Israel was speaking to Tommy when he went over there. Again, they can get on with it. We've got problems on our own fucking doorstep. So the way I look at it is, they're already winning. They're already winning. They don't need our help. We're the ones that need help at the moment. So I don't give a shit about the Israeli government, to be honest. I don't want innocent people killed in that. Obviously, I'm not fucking what's the word? I'm not mercenary. Again, I'm sick to death of our news cycles being full of fucking Israel, Dubai, and all these other things when they should be worrying about Britain, you know? But no, never had a problem with the Jewish community in Britain. Never had a problem with the Jewish community anywhere. Just got a problem with the Israeli government. Same as I've got a problem with the Argentinian government. Same as I've got, so there is no government free from my wrath. Oh, sorry, whoop. I'm clashing with Vin. For fuck's sake. Right, okay. Well, when did Vin start? When did Vin's stream start? Oh, sorry, mate. I'm sorry, Steve. Oh, I see. I get it. Sorry, Steve. I'm a dumb twat sometimes. Well, what I said stands, but not against you. Right, yeah, so when did Vin go live? 1:30. What time are we at now? 1:41. How long have I been live? 28 minutes. Okay, well, Vin could have checked with me on this today, because I've been trying to check on his channel. We're going to clash sometime. I'm trying not to. I'm trying my hardest not to. But I checked. There was nothing live. I checked his channel, nothing live. Because I realised that was a mistake I made before, not checking. So I've started to check. And if it's not live, then I'm going to go live. So unless he says that, don't get me wrong, sometimes he might say to me, oh, I'm going live at 12 today. If he does, I'll tell you what, I'll go before or afterwards. Sometimes it's even better to go an hour before, because then we can roll. Sorry. We roll into it. Sorry. Jesus. We roll into each other's live streams, which I think is kind of cool, considering the amount of stuff we do together and that. So, yeah, so it's not intentional today, and I'm sure Vin didn't intentionally clash with me either, like neither of us do. And we usually end up going, oh, sorry mate, you know. But in fairness, I normally will pull off if I see him on, and he'll do the same for me. But just as I started this, when I started it today, I'm going to continue, because I've only got about another 5-10 minutes anyway. And I'm getting a little bit pissed off, not with Vin, I'm getting a bit pissed off with trying to navigate this minefield of keep having to turn my podcast off. So, again, nothing against Vin, it's just the minefield. So all I can do is check his channel, check other people's channels, which I do. I go and check. I can't check every creator, but I go and check as many creators as I can, see who's around. Nobody was live, so you do the best you can, don't you? So, but like I say, we always do try and strive not to be live when Vin's live, or when other people, Danny Roscoe or anybody else, try not to do that. I do believe it's bad etiquette. Right, so in the interest of, once again, speeding along another live stream I wasn't intending on ending, let's go back to the question I asked you guys then. Political solution. Yes, no, changed my mind, and in what direction have you changed your mind since 4 months ago? Give me that, and then I'll get off of here. Tom, you're not getting any notifications when I go live. Oh, we started that again. Do you know what? It's really annoying because the last few days, do you know what though? I'm not getting notifications from Vin when he's going live either. I've noticed that. I said that to Vin. And I should do. I'm notified to him on 2 channels. So I should get notification. And both of those channels don't notify. As the other day when he was going live, I had to ask, he'd even set the time of his live and had to ask him what time it was because it didn't notify me. So, and then, yeah, some people have said the same thing about mine. I don't think it's deliberate from YouTube to try and screw our channels over. They're doing so much work. They're changing so much at the moment. They're scrambling big time because they're trying to catch the people using the big screen TVs now. They know that's where their market is. They're scrambling big time to alter your content, to alter their rules, to alter things for advertising partners, to alter the quality of certain videos on the big screen. Everything's being done at once, so that's why you're getting a lot of stuff going wrong. So probably the notifications that have never been that reliable are part of that as well. Oh, sorry. I only put up notification at 12:45. See, but 12:45 would have been early enough for me to see, wouldn't it? Yeah, how long have I been on? Yeah, I should have seen that. I should have seen that. Well, Vin, if you see this, sorry, mate. Sorry, mate. Like, why is it not coming up? 2 channels, guys. Like 2 separate browser windows. One browser window I do my artwork in. The other browser window I do video editing in. They're both on 2 different YouTube channels. Neither one of them gets a notification from Vin. That's crazy. Right, so anyway, let's try to ask that last question again, and then I'm going to get off because I feel bad for Vin now. Now, knowing he's set that up at 12:30, that means I haven't had notifications. So now the ball's in my court to get the fuck off of here. So I'll tell you what, I'll say to you guys, why don't you go over to see Vin's stream? Because like I say, he set that up for 12:30, so that's on me. That's my fault. And if you feel like it, you come back and let me know what you think about political solution. Yes, no. And have you changed your mind from October? As in, have you gone from no to yes, yes to no? I'm really interested because I'm having my own internal struggle, but I'd be curious to know what people think. All right, now I know what I know. I'm going to get off here. I'll fucking with you, I told about the problem about connecting. Yes, I had that problem connecting last night as well, Steve, for the first time. So I now know what it is that you're talking about. I'm not sure why it happened. Sorry. Shit happens, Tom. Nobody is casting blame. I know. You know, it's not that. It's not that. It's that I know there are people out there that are trying to damage Vin's channel. They're trying to damage my channel and other people's as well. I mean, Danny Roscoe had his channel targeted, and he came up with an original idea, and then he had it targeted for having that original idea, and it was like, I don't want to go too into it because he might not want me to, but so obviously because of that, the less you can accidentally screw with each other's streams, the better. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like kind of gentleman's agreement, you know. We never actually said, hey, I'll never do, but it's just the right thing to do. Anyway, with that said, the right thing to do is no good if you don't do it, is it? So I'm going to jump off. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Dave. Is it weird doing it in stereo? Nah, never. Right, and I will catch you all soon. Like I say, go over to VSB. If you don't know VSB's channel, Go check it out. It's at Vindicator Strikes Back 8777. Although you don't normally need to put in the numbers because it will pop straight up. But go check him out now. His live streams are always good. So go give him a check and subscribe if you like his content. And until then, thank you. Is that Ruby? Thank you, Ruby. Take care, everybody. Love you all. My name is Tom Fury. This is Zero News. I'm calling it a day for now.